You know that.
Aren't you going to put her on report?
It's not worth the trouble.
You are accusing him of killing Sharon Gilmore?
Well, it's not up to me to accuse another officer. I'm merely saying it ought to be looked into.
Another allegation from a prisoner?
Yes, but he didn't want the allegation heard. Not by you. If he'd had a clear conscience, he'd have put that woman on a charge straight away.
Well, he certainly should have.
There are a few things about Mr. Stewart you don't know. He is involved in the sale of Anderson's house. I saw him accepting money from Westmore, who's been pressuring her to sell.
You are sure of your facts, Vera?
He admitted it. Said it was a business deal, all above board.
All above board, indeed. We can guess how he persuaded Doreen.
I know this doesn't make him guilty of murder, but it does show he's crooked.
And possibly violent. He terrified Doreen. I want to see her immediately after lunch, Vera. We have to get this sorted out.
I should have done what you did.
What, taken on a 7-year stretch?
Taken up a trade. You know, painting or writing or singing or something. You're not listening, are you?
Helen, listen, I've got a lot of work to do.
Well, finish your drink.
Look, thanks for the gin, thanks for the flowers, and thanks for getting the hell out of here. Come
But
on.
I haven't said that
No, but you're just about to.
Oh, okay. You don't have to hint. Good.
Listen, I'll just do it some other time, okay?
I'll come back this hour.
Yeah.
No, maybe you better ring me. Look, there's my number.
Very nice.
And if you feel like a booze up, you get in touch with your old mate, Helen.
Okay, mate, come on. Oh, she cute.
Oh, you're a funny girl, Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
You're a funny kind of pro, and you're a funny kind of painter, and it beats me. Well, I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
This man, Harry Byrne, had you had any contact with him previously?
No, Mrs. Davidson.
What did he want with you?
Well, it was about my mum's house. He wanted me to sell it.
Mr. Stewart was at that interview, Mrs. Davidson.
No one had approached you to sell the house previously?
Well, Mr. Westmore had.
The solicitor?
Yeah.
But not Mr. Stewart? Did he ask you to sell the house after the interview,
I didn't
Doreen?
say he did.
Just calm down. We would appreciate your help.
But I was going to sell it anyway. I wanted to sell, because while I've had that house, I've had nothing but trouble. Nobody's safe. They're not me, not Kevin, not anyone.
If you are being harassed into selling, you have only to tell me, Doreen. I will see that you have no further trouble. Very well. It is your house. There is one other thing. It has been suggested that Sharon Gilmore's death was not an accident.
Well, the cops said it was an accident.
Well, the police had not heard Judy Bryant on the matter. You heard her this morning? Why did she not tell the police when they were here?
Well, she thought B had done it till then.
But now she has more reliable information?
Speak up, Burns. If you have anything to say, tell us.
Whoever it was, you will come to no harm.
Mrs. Davidson, I feel sick. Can I go and lie down?
But it was you who threatened the girl.
Did she say so?
Obviously not. She was too frightened.
Well, that's hardly evidence, is it?
Miss Bennett has come up with something more substantial. Your connection with the man who tried to buy her house.
So I know a few people in real estate, so what?
You were seen receiving money from him.
Yeah, money that I'd already lent him, that's right.
Mr. Stewart, we must not only be honest, we must be seen to be honest. Your conduct has been open to too many interpretations.
If you say so.
And your explanations far too glib for my liking. It is not for me to decide the extent of your involvement in what is possibly extortion. That is for the police. But I can have you transferred back to Pentridge. I shall put in my report to the department, and they can decide what to do.
Cite me, I suppose.
You should choose a job more suited to your talents. Real estate, perhaps? You know the way out. Sergeant Tegan? Erica Davidson. I may have some more information for you about Sharon Gilmore's death.
Look, your average screw might be weak or greedy, but not Laughing Boy. I reckon he's psycho.
You know, if we could just get them to see his true colours once, the real Jock Stewart.
He's too smart for you to make him blow his cool.
Well, I can give it the old college try.
Oh, good luck. The way you're going, you won't last a month out.
Yeah, another accident, eh?
Well, he's just the boy to do it. He'll probably spread the word that you killed yourself over Sharon.
Well, what do you think? The halfway house?
Yes, if you can get her in there.
I have Mr. Westmore wanted to see Doreen about her house.
The house again.
He's got a contract of sale all ready for her signature.
Well, we can't let her sign if she's under duress, can we?
Well, there's no further threat to Doreen. She doesn't have to sell the house.
No, but her husband has been threatened.
Yes, it's Kevin she seems to be worried about.
Yeah, would you mind if I had to talk to her before she sees this Mr. Westmore?
Well, certainly not, if you think it will help. Let Mr. Westmore cool his heels in the interview room, Mrs. Jackson.
Shouldn't we have told her about Jock Stewart?
I'd rather the staff didn't know whilst they still have to work with him.
Ah, yes, of course. Yes, it wouldn't be very good for morale at that, would it?
Well, you took your time.
Listen, you all heard Judy heavying Jock this morning.
Yeah, and he just stood there and took it.
On account of it happens to be true.
Why don't we dob him in?
Well, do you think anyone's going to take our word against his screws? No way.
What are we going to do then, B?
Judy thinks he'll blow his cover if she keeps monstering him.
She's not going to make old bones.
Not unless we help her. Now, listen, I don't want her ever left alone with him. So if you see him hanging around her, one of us has got to hang around. So if anything happens, we can give a bloody good yell. Oh, hello, Mr. Reed. How are you?
I want Doreen.
You can't have her. She's a married woman now.
Come on, Doreen. There's a Mr. Westmore here to see you. He's got some documents for you to sign.
Yeah, I told him I'd sell the house.
Well, you don't have to sell it if you don't want to.
Well, I haven't got much choice, Mr. Reed.
Yes, you have. The police have been told about your problems with certain people, and you've got nothing more to worry about there.
Yeah, but there's nobody looking after Kevin, and the police said that it was vandals who damaged his
The
van.
police will be checking that as well, I promise you.
Well, I know my mum wouldn't have liked me to sell it.
Okay, don't sell it.
Well, do I have to tell Mr. Westmore?
I'll tell him for you if you like.
Oh, gee, that'd be beaut. Thanks, Mr. Reed.
Why don't you sit down, Mr. Westmore?
How long am I to be kept waiting?
Mr. Reed is talking to Doreen now.
Reed?
The social worker here?
What concern is it of his? This is merely a business transaction between myself and Mrs. Burns.
Ah, Mr. Westmore.
Where's Mrs. Burns?
She's asked me to pass on a message to you, the sale of the house. It's not on.
I prefer to speak to her personally.
And she doesn't want to see you.
And nevertheless, I must insist.
I'm sorry you can't see a prisoner without their consent.
I have made a very substantial offer on her house. The party concerned has been remarkably generous.
He's being remarkably persistent, too, isn't he?
Is that any concern of yours?
No, it isn't. But Doreen is my concern. She has been harassed to a point of almost having a nervous breakdown. Her husband's life has been threatened. Mr. Westmore, as a solicitor, you'd be familiar with the word extortion, wouldn't you?
Are you making an accusation?
No, just asking a question.
Just as well. There is a law against slander, you know.
Yes. You might inform your party that his ideas of correct business procedure are being viewed with some concern by the police, and a full investigation has been mounted.
I am not privy to his business practices. Merely an intermediary. His legal advisor.
Then you might legally advise him to stay away from Doreen and her husband.
I assure you, I had no idea he was involved in anything shady.
Oh, if you say so.
Good afternoon.